All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Monday morning. I do pray that everybody is blessed in the name of Yeshua the Messiah, Jesus the Messiah. And today, what I want to talk about is a few things. I want to talk about how we can find good entries during an uptrend, because clearly it ain't no surprise to y'all. We are in an uptrend right now for many cryptocurrencies, and a lot of people feel that they are struggling to get into good entries. They feel like they're missing the good entry, and then by the time they go long, they're FOMOing in, and then we get a little consolidation or pullback. And so I want to talk about how to really find those good entries, how we can kind of tell. There's a few different ways to get into those good entries using Market Cipher. I am going to go over that. Also, I'm going to do a little analysis, talk about specific targets that I have going on. As far as my Bitcoin and Ethereum trades go. But before I go into that, I do want to talk about something that I had this morning when I was spending time in Scripture and praying. And it's this scripture right here from Matthew 6. And if you're not a believer in Jesus the Messiah, that's okay. I think there's a lot of wisdom in here for anybody, regardless of your specific belief system. Now, personally, I do follow the Messiah. But basically, this is a famous passage that Jesus is speaking. The creator of the universe is speaking. And he's telling people, look, you can only serve one thing in your life. It's impossible for a human being to serve God and to serve money. And the reason I bring this up is because my life is full of the pursuit of money. I'm a trader. What I do all day is I look at charts. And it becomes very easy for me to actually serve and be a slave to trading, to actually be a slave to trading, to the point where the things I should be putting first in my life, such as my family and God, actually take the back seat and trading becomes first. Where I will wake up early for the sake of trading, stay up late for the sake of trading, miss dinner with my family for the sake of trading. Things that I know are more important. And it's because Jesus says you cannot serve those two things. But then he follows that up by saying, look, because you cannot serve two things, I'm telling you this, don't worry about everyday life. Don't worry about having enough material possessions. Don't worry about it. He says, look at the birds outside. They don't work for anything. They're just living. They're just being who they were created to be. Yet your heavenly Father provides for them their every need. You never see a bird out there stressing out about trying to, store up enough worms for tomorrow or the next day or the next day. They don't even think about that. And that's what Jesus is telling us here. He's like, don't think about that. I'm not telling you not to work. I'm not telling you not to do the things you're supposed to do. But the focus needs to be on the most important things, the things in life that have an eternal value. And he says, I tell you, don't worry. He says, seek first the kingdom of God and the righteousness of God. And all these other things that so many people stress out about, money, food, housing, all those things will be added onto you if you simply just put things in the right order. And I always have to remind myself to put things in the right order because it's a constant struggle of repentance and changing my outlook on life to put the Lord first. So with that being said, guys, let us now get back into the actual content. And I know, if you're totally turned off by that, then that's fine. This is definitely not the channel for you. But we're going to get into some good stuff today, guys. We're going to get into some good stuff. And I think that this will really help you if you feel that you have actually been struggling with finding those good trade setups, finding them good trades, okay? So let's get into the charts here. And yeah, guys, so we had this massive move to the upside, Bitcoin and Ethereum yesterday. After kind of consolidating for a little bit, I'm currently long on, this is my Ethereum chart. So this is the long trade that I took yesterday. hang on one second, guys. This is a long trade that I took yesterday. Let me just pull that up real quick. Yes, so that trade is right here, currently up over 60% in profits. And then, of course, the short trade that I took also is not so much in profit, right? It's up about 4%. You know, that's okay. I'm treating this basically like a scalp. I've already locked in the profits. I've moved my stop loss to the entry. If things continue to look bearish, I can always enter again, but my number one rule for trading is do not lose money. Yesterday was an interesting day, guys. Yesterday, I actually shorted in the morning when I woke up, and I saw that we were actually getting a good short opportunity here. And I can't pull up that short for some reason, but it was up 36%. In fact, I do have it in the Discord. So this was a trade setup that I did post in the Discord yesterday. Not really a setup, but more of just a fact that, look, I am short right here because of the fact that things look super bearish, right? So I entered that short, and that was up, you know, about 36%. It was a pretty nice move. And then also, obviously, yesterday, late at night, we shorted in the Discord. We took a short from about, you know, 50K, give or take, 49.8 or whatever, for this tiny little scalp. And it was kind of funny because we were in there kind of freaking out about it because there were some bearish divergences, guys. There was a reason to take a short there, but it was a very small little short. Okay. And then, you know, obviously the long on the Ethereum. And shout out to everybody in here who's absolutely killing it right now. So many people in here killing it. Yes. So many people killing it right now. So why am I short right now? Well, this is a trade setup I've been waiting for a long time. Come over to the potential Ethereum trade setups here. This was a trade that I've been waiting for a few weeks. You know, yesterday morning I posted, look, if we come up to the 618 and we get some bearish divergences, I'm going to go ahead and short it. The divergences were not as strong as I had hoped for. This is the 24-minute chart, so you can see we do get a pretty significant divergence as we come up and make this higher high. We do get a pretty significant lower high, and so, you know, that's the signal then to enter the trade, right? We don't enter the trade just because we come up to the level, guys. Like, look right here. We came up above the 618. We don't enter here. Even though we did get a rejection from here, we don't enter here. The reason is because we don't have the bearish divergence on Market Cipher. We wait until we have that clear confirmation on Market Cipher. If we come to the 1 hour, we also see we are getting the bearish divergence as we come up to that area on the 1 hour time frame. And so, you know, that trade is, you know, I'm treating it like a scalp. As I said, I'm treating it as a scalp, meaning that I'm taking profit early, I'm locking it in early. I'm making sure that I'm not going to exit the trade in a loss. You know, you've got the limit order up here and limit out along the way down. I have my next limit order is set down just below, right around this area of support here, if we even hit it, right? Because you could also just say that this is just a massive bull pennant waiting to blast through, and it very well could be, okay? So what I want to do now is I kind of want to go over how we're going to find trade setups in an uptrend, okay? And the way that we're going to do that is there's two main ways. There's two main ways I feel that you can find good trade setups in an uptrend using Market Cipher. Okay, I think there's two really powerful things you can do where even if you're not the best at technical analysis, if you have some good tools like Market Cipher, you can absolutely find some good trade setups here. Let me just pop in the chat and make sure we're still alive. Shout out to everyone in here. Let's get the likes up, guys. If we can smash these likes up to 750 likes by the end of the stream, I will absolutely give away 0.025 Bitcoin, which that's a lot of money, guys, especially now. I think that's getting close to $1,500 right now, $1,500. All right, so I'm going to open up a new notepad right here. And, you know, sometimes the computers just don't work the way you want them to, guys. You ever get that happening to you? You ever get that happening? Where they just don't work the way you want? Okay, I'll use this template. Okay, finding good, well, yeah, we need a few more O's there. Finding good entries in an uptrend. Okay, there's three things we're going to do. There's number one, the 4-24 strategy. Okay, number two, the private public strategy, I'll call it. I like to give my strategies strange names, okay? And then number three, and this is the icing on the cake, okay? I'm just going to call this icing on the cake, all right? And I'm speaking of the crypto cake, right? Okay? No, this is actually going to be about support and resistance. Okay, so the first way to find good entries in an uptrend is the good old, and it's good and it's old, okay guys, the 4-hour 24-minute strategy. That will help you find a good entry during an uptrend, okay? And Bitcoin is currently getting a 45-minute red dot here. Do we have a bearish divergence? We have a very slight bearish divergence on the 45-minute here, okay? I'm hoping we come down a little bit more here, guys. I'm hoping that we come down a little bit more for the short, right? Looking like a pretty powerful bull flag here, but we might do something like what we did over the weekend where we have a move to the upside and then we kind of consolidate and come down. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. The 4-hour 24-minute strategy, what is that? 4-hour 24-minute strategy, I'm sure many are aware, is where you are going to split your screen into two. And you're going to put one screen onto the 4-hour time frame. You're going to put your other screen onto the 24-minute time frame. Now, a lot of people are like, Jay, why 24 minutes? Why not 25 minutes? Why not 15 minutes? Are my glasses crooked? Are they crooked? Why are you using such a random time frame? Here's the thing, guys. I have found that when you're using Market Cipher to try and find confluence, it's very helpful and advantageous to you if you find time frames that are divisible by 10. What I mean by that is this. The 4-hour time frame is actually 240 minutes, right? The 240-minute time frame. Every 240 minutes, a candle will print a new candle. And so divide 240 by 10 and we get 24 minutes, okay? So we're basically taking the large time frame, dividing the number of minutes by 10 to get the smaller time frame, okay? And people know, if you've taken the course, right, jasoncaspertrading.com, this comprehensive course will give you the knowledge and the skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader, where we do go through so many things. Check out the testimonials here, changing the way people approach these markets. It really is a comprehensive package to give you a solid foundation for having a systematic approach to trading these charts. Far better than just looking at, or just using one strategy. This will teach you how to trade in various market conditions, all the technical analysis you need, how to use Market Cipher in extreme detail, how to have a strategy, even giving you strategies I use. Mindset, risk management, very important, so that you can actually be profitable doing this and not lose money. There's an $80 discount in the description. Also, while I'm shilling my course, let me shill the private Discord. If you want to join the Discord, where I do give daily technical analysis updates and trade setups, you can do that by becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/JasonCasper. Let me drop the $80 discount in the description. Also, guys, Market Cipher, there's a $500 discount, I think, for a few more people. Only 50 people can get the $500 discount in the description of the video if you use this affiliate link and this code BILLYGUNZ. Shout out to CryptoFace for the sick discount, right? That is a really good deal, okay? That is a good deal. So the 4-hour 24-minute strategy is essentially where you're splitting your screen up into 4-hour and 24-minute. And if you're in a trending market, this is very important. People email me and they say, hey, Jay, I tried your 4-hour 24-minute and I got wrecked. Here's the thing. It has to be in a trending market. You can long this way in an uptrend and you can short this way in a downtrend. But if we are ranging and trading sideways, okay, don't try this strategy. It has to be a very powerful uptrend. How can we determine if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend? Simply by zooming out of the chart and going to a higher time frame. And we can see that since July 21st, we have been in a strong uptrend, right? We've been in a strong trending market on Ethereum right here, where basically we've been making higher highs and higher lows, very clear uptrend. So, you know, if you see something like this, you know you can use this strategy. Remember, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend, which means the trend will always continue until it doesn't. And if you're in a trend, it's very probable that the trend will continue until one day it doesn't. So if you're constantly trading this way, the 4-hour 24 strategy in an uptrend, it will work and it will work and it will work, and then eventually it won't work and you're going to lose. And that's okay, because hopefully, probably, if you're actually doing this with any hopes of doing this for a long time, you're implementing a good risk management strategy, which takes for granted the fact that losses will happen, right? So it's not a big deal. But yes, you're trading the trend. And so if you see we're in an uptrend, then what you're going to do is you're going to pull up good old Market Cipher B, our favorite indicator. My favorite indicator in the world is Market Cipher B. Shout out to CryptoFace for creating the Market Cipher Bizzle, which is what I call it. I use Market Cipher Bizzle to trade XR Pizzle and Ethereum and Bitcoin. And we are going to wait for a green trigger wave to print, okay? What is a trigger wave? This is a trigger wave. This is a trigger wave, okay? Basically, guys, a trigger wave is simply just a green dot that is printing on the chart higher than a previous green dot, okay? Higher than a previous green dot. So we can see that we have this dot very low down here below this 60 line on the oscillator. This I would consider an anchor wave, okay? And then after that, we have what's known as a trigger wave. Okay, now if we're going to do the strategy perfectly, and it's very important that we're only looking for trigger waves. Now, don't get me wrong, you can use anchor waves, but the highest probability setups are going to be those trigger waves. Here's why. An anchor wave simply means we're printing a bottom, okay, a bottom, and you can see we're putting in a bottom right here, okay, but then we actually come down and form more of a solid bottom. And if you see that we're bottoming out, and also momentum is coming up like this, that's giving you the confirmation that the trend absolutely is going to continue. So that's why I'm talking about trigger waves, not anchor waves, okay? And a trigger wave is a higher wave than the last wave, and a wave is determined by the green dot. So we're going to go ahead and wait for a green dot, right? Wait for the green dot. We have our green dot printing right here. I'm going to put a vertical line on the chart, okay, right here. Let me go ahead and remove this. This green dot starts printing at about, okay, at about 20 o'clock. 20 o'clock yesterday. Then what we are going to do is we're going to come to the 24-minute time frame, and we are going to enter when money flow crosses over, okay, or when we get a green dot. When money flow crosses over, or when we get a green dot. Now, let's zoom in here so we can see when exactly this happens, because a lot of times this is going to get you into a trade, not at the exact bottom, but it is in fact going to get you into a trade, you know, during or right before the massive pump. So check this out, guys. Check this out, okay? We get the green dot printing on Market Cipher B right here on this candle, okay? Right here on this candle. So the green dot probably started printing somewhere around here, okay? So you would have entered right there. And look at what happens as soon as you enter. That's actually when we break out of the resistance. This was literally a resistance that we were knocking into, 2 times knocking into it. After ranging along this area all day, this was clearly a high volume node. I guarantee if we pull out a fixed range right here, that would be the point of control. Okay, right around that point of control right there. The high volume node. As soon as we break out of here, we're getting our confirmations on Market Cipher. So we could have entered, and let's say that we waited for the green dot to confirm. That's still a really nice 2.3% move right there, okay? Now, usually I don't wait for them to confirm. I wait for the 4 dot to flash, and then when the 24-minute starts to flash, I enter, so you could get a little bit better of a trade setup. So if you just waited for it to flash, you could have had almost a 3% move right there, okay? This is one of the ways you're going to find those good trade setups during an uptrend, using good old, it's good and it's old, Market Cipher, okay? Market Cipher. And then the second way, guys, is this. The second way is this. And the second way is going to help you get a little bit better of an entry, Okay, but this, I actually made a video about this yesterday. You can check it out. Make sure to like the video, guys, so I can do a $1,500 Bitcoin giveaway. If everyone just calls their mama and says, hey, like the video, then yeah, we could absolutely get 750 likes here. So yesterday I did make a video. Actually, I made two videos. One about how I entered this Ethereum long trade and the process that I went through to find this pump before it happened. And then I made a more in-depth video. I recommend everyone check it out. It's called How to Predict Massive Pumps, Catch the Move Before It Happens. And basically in this video here, I'm going through what I now am calling, for the sake of this video, the private-public strategy, which is where we're looking for two things. We're looking for a hidden divergence and a regular divergence to enter a trade, okay? So for this strategy, we're going to go to the 1 hour time frame, and then we're going to go to the 6 minute time frame. And the first thing we're going to look for is we're going to look for a hidden divergence on the 1 hour time frame, okay? People are messaging me saying, yo, Jay, hey, and my boy, Mr. Casper. And I'm like, what? And they're like, hey, can you explain the difference between a hidden divergence and a regular divergence? Yes, I can, and I will do that right now. A hidden divergence, guys, is a trend continuation pattern, and a regular divergence is a trend reversal pattern, okay? A hidden divergence is a trend continuation pattern, and a regular divergence is a trend reversal pattern. Let's take a look at google.com to try and see, you know, if we can parse out what's the difference between a hidden and a regular divergence. So, a regular divergence is where price is getting lower and yet momentum is getting higher. This is a trend reversal pattern. If price is coming down, making lower lows and lower highs, and yet momentum is making higher lows and higher highs, this is a regular divergence showing us that there's going to be a trend reversal. This is because Market Cipher B is showing us money and momentum is coming into the asset, yet the price continues to come down, which means there needs to be a correction, right? You always hear people say we're going to have a correction, right? We're not in a bear market, guys. This is just a healthy correction, okay? It's just a healthy correction, right? And so, basically, the correction, if it's a bullish divergence, the correction is going to be upward, because think of it logically. If money is coming into the asset, yet the price continues to go down, that means the asset is oversold and there needs to be a correction upward so it can be a fair value again. Hidden divergences, on the other hand, are when the price is making a higher low, yet Market Cipher B is making a lower low. This is a trend continuation pattern. This is showing you that we have reached the bottom of the higher low in the trend. So if we're already in an uptrend, you see this? This is an uptrend. The price is making a higher high and a higher low. And our goal here is to determine where is the bottom of that higher low so we can find a good entry point to continue on in the uptrend. Right? Does that make sense? If we know we're in an uptrend, let me come back here to the chart. What? Guys, remember, this is not financial advice, okay? This is a picture of me in high school, okay? A picture of me in high school. And remember that I am just a teenage boy with pigtails, okay? A teenage boy with pigtails and jacked biceps, okay? Jacked teenage boy with pigtails, okay? You don't want to listen to some weird androgynous, what the heck is this even? This is not financial advice, guys. Remember, this face will haunt you forever if you accept any of this stuff as financial advice, okay? It's not financial advice. Also, shout out to Carl from the Moon. Carl from the Moon, we all know this picture was taken at the county fair. We were talking about technical analysis together at the fair in person. It was a Dubai county fair. I was buying a new tractor. You guys can see I've got my laptop for trading. I've got my Bible for thumping. I'm shilling Market Cipher, got the Bitcoin, hanging out here, all jacked, Jason Casper. It looks like two photos copy and pasted together. It's not. This is just a black pole in between us. We were underneath this pavilion. You can see this pavilion here. And here it is on my side. There was a black pole. And we talked about TA. It was a great time. Shout out to Carl from the Moon. Yeah. It was a great time. I always wanted to meet Carl from the moon, and when it finally happened, when I finally met him, he was exactly as I predicted he would be. And so these, basically, if we're already in an uptrend, right? We're in the uptrend. The goal should be to enter here. The goal should be to enter here, right? We don't want to long here in an uptrend, especially if we're leverage trading. No, we want to enter down here. And so if you see the trend is continuing, right? And Market Cipher is making a wave, and then it makes a low wave, and then it makes another wave, and then it makes a lower wave, okay? This is a hidden bullish divergence, showing you that you've come to the bottom of a trend, the bottom of a higher low. And this is telling you, you got a big old juicy green dot right here, telling you this is the time to enter. And so once we see that hidden divergence forming, okay, then we're going to go and look for a regular divergence on a lower time frame. And here's why. We all know that we can subdivide price action into local trends. If we're in a macro uptrend, like we are right here, let's take a look. This right here, excuse me guys, sorry, this right here is obviously a macro uptrend. Let's say this was the 4-hour time frame, okay? If we were to zoom into a lower time frame, like let's say the 6-minute time frame, these pullbacks here would look like downtrends. And in fact, they are downtrends, because we know that during an uptrend, it doesn't go straight up, right? It goes up, down, up, down, up. And then when it comes down, it goes down, up, down, up, down, up. And so we're subdividing the moves up and the moves down into smaller local trends. This pullback is a very local downtrend. And so what we're doing is we're looking for the hidden divergence on a higher time frame to tell us we've come to the bottom of this higher low. And then we're looking for a regular divergence on a lower time frame to tell us we have come to a trend reversal in this pullback and we're about to shoot up. You guys understand what I'm saying here? Basically, we're trying to make sure that all things are in favor, that the uptrend macro is going to continue and the downtrend micro is going to reverse. That's what we're looking for. And that's exactly how I got into my Ethereum trade yesterday. This trade right here, you can see I entered literally. If we take a zoom in, look at my entry. My entry was pretty much the bottom. In fact, this video is not showing you my true entry. My true entry was $10 lower. I entered somewhere down in here, and what was my real entry? My real entry was 31.34. So this is showing my entry at 31.42, right? But it was really lower than that. It was 31.34. And I'm going to show you now what exactly I was looking for. And this works for all assets, guys. This will work for all assets. If you're in an uptrend, this will help you really get the bottom. Okay, the 4-hour 24 will let you get part of the move, especially if you're new. It's really powerful. This right here will help you catch the bottoms. Okay, I know it sounds too good to be true, y'all. All right, and this ain't no financial advice, y'all. But here we go. All right, let me put on my uniform to give non-financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, okay? Yesterday, for Ethereum, what we saw was this, boop, boom, okay? We pull up the 1-hour time frame and the 6-minute time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, we can see that we are printing a hidden divergence, right? We're in the uptrend. What do we see? We see price printing a higher low, and we see momentum printing a lower low. That is considered a hidden divergence. Now, look at this, guys. It's very important for this strategy that we marry together hidden and regular divergences for the highest probability outcomes. Okay, yes, you can use the hidden divergences only and have good success rate, but for the highest probability setups, we want to do both. So first, we have this hidden divergence printing on the bizzle, right? The Market Cipher B. $500 discount in the description of the V. Okay, sorry, I get excited in the morning, guys. Black coffee running through my veins, push-ups, pull-ups, all that fun stuff. Okay, so the first thing we're looking for, guys, is a hidden divergence. Very simple. Then we go to a lower time frame, and I'm going to go ahead and put a mark here around where the hidden divergence is. Because here's the thing, and this is also important, y'all. Boom. it's important that we understand that we're not going to see this big old green dot of printing all the time, right? We're just looking to see that the divergence is forming, right? That it's forming, right? As we see it come down, we're not going to see the big old green dot. That thing's not going to pop out until maybe, sometimes, already a lot of the move has already happened. Not all the time. Sometimes you can long that big old green dot with the big old, you know, if you got a big old BitBoy dot down here, shout out to BitBoy for popularizing those big old dots on Market Cipher B, right? Those are the money makers in an uptrend, especially if you got the hidden divergence going on, right? We can just go back in history and see in general, you know, longing them big old green dots in an uptrend usually leads to some good stuff. But, you know, we're not going to necessarily see that green dot as it's printing, right? We need to be aware that it's happening before it happens, right? If we come to the charts and we see something like this, right, where the VWAP, okay, it's looking happy. We've got the happy wappy going on right here, where the happy wappy looks like it's about to cross over the zero line, right? We don't want to see a floppy wappy, okay? If we see a floppy wappy where it looks like we're printing a bottom, but the VWAP is very floppy, like down here, you know, you could have said we were looking like we're going to print maybe a bottom, but the VWAP is floppy. We want a happy wappy and not a floppy wappy. This is, you're telling yourself a hidden divergence is forming here, okay? Then we're going to come over to the 6-minute time frame, okay? The 6-minute time frame. I like the 6-minute. It's very accurate. And what we're going to do on the 6-minute is we are going to look for now a regular bullish divergence, to tell us that, yes, in the macro, we're coming to the bottom of a higher low, and in the micro, right? Check it out. On the 6-minute time frame, we can clearly see that we were in a local downtrend, right? A local downtrend, okay? Even though on the macro, check it out, y'all, we're in an uptrend. We see price making higher, okay? Look at this on the macro, right? Look at this massive uptrend on the macro. On the micro, downtrend. Okay, what are we looking for? We're looking for the higher high. We're looking for that pivot point where the uptrend will continue, right? So we've got ourselves the bullish divergence hidden forming. Now we're going to look for the bullish divergence regular forming. And here we're going to look for this downtrend continuing. And then we want to see that we are getting actually higher momentum on Market Cipher B. Okay, so anywhere here, or if you want more confirmation here, this would be your confirmation to enter. Because now we can see, especially these last 3 green dots on Market Cipher B on the 6-minute, we see price is coming lower. And yet momentum is coming higher. And it's even more powerful, guys. It's even more powerful if you see, because Market Cipher B is not just momentum waves, it has money flow. It has the wappinator, right? The happy wappy or the floppy wappy, depending on the mood of the situation. We have the momentum coming up. We have the money flow coming up, right? We have 2 things diverging. Money is coming back into the asset. Momentum is coming into the asset. We've got 3 big old BitBoy dots in a row. Okay, those are powerful. If you got a lot of these in a row mixed with other confirmations, that's powerful, y'all. That ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. I'm telling you. Okay, so that would have been the entry, and that's exactly where I entered this Ethereum trade yesterday. Okay, so we've got 2 strategies here. We've got the 4-hour 24. I recommend for beginners starting out, looking for a good way to capitalize on the uptrend. If we're going to 100K, guys, I don't know. Do I look like a financial advisor? I don't know if we're going to 100K, okay? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea, okay? Let me adjust myself here, okay? But, like I said in the beginning of this video, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. If we are in an uptrend, you might as well try and get into them juicy longs. Y'all know me, basically, for this entire thing we've been in since the bottom at 29K, pretty much every long I've gone into, yes, I started out treating it kind of scalpy, right? Taking profit early, moving the stop loss to the entry to ensure I don't lose money. But every long I've taken on Bitcoin and Ethereum since the end of July, I am still holding those longs. I'm still holding them, right? If you're long, if you find those good entries, you can hold them because the trend is your friend. If you find an entry at the bottom of a higher low, you can hold that, because if we're in an uptrend, we're not going to come back down to that low. That's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of it. If this uptrend is going to continue to 100K, let's just say, right? Do I think that? I don't know. There are some areas of resistance we have to break through. Some of them are pretty close. But if we are indeed going to continue in the uptrend, then, you know, you should be looking at these longs as potential swing hodl trades, right? A good example of this is on the Bitcoin. This was a wonderful, wonderful trade that I took back in the month of January. Believe it or not, this was probably the riskiest trade I ever took in my life. But on January 28th, I entered a long position with way more money than I should have. I remember like it was yesterday, because I went upstairs to my wife, Big Butts 28. I told her, Big Butts 28. I entered a trade. This is how much money we could lose. This is how much money we could get, right? Next morning I wake up, Elon Musk has tweeted, gone crazy. Maybe it was not the 28th, maybe it was the 29th. I think it might have been on when I saw the big old hidden bullish divergence on the daily, mixed with the 4-hour anchor trigger. That's when I entered. It was a big old swing trade, guys. I held that thing all the way, literally all the way until like February, right? Because I kept moving my stop loss up to lock in those gains, guys, and I'm telling you, I got stopped out somewhere around here. Okay, but you know, I held that thing like a swing trade. So every trade I've entered here, right? I'm long from right down here. Okay, I'm long from right here. Okay, I'm long from right here. Holding on to these trades, guys. Holding on to them as swings. And my shorts, they're scalps. They're scalps. I'm still, you know, trading those shorts with the potential saying this could be the top. But, you know, I'm being diligent, taking profits kind of early, yo. Making sure I'm not losing money. And again, if you want to learn how I trade, check out jasoncaspertrading.com, because this really breaks it down. I'm telling you, you can have some success, especially in a trending market, using what I'm telling you in this video. But if you want longevity, if you want to be able to trade in multiple market conditions, if you want to be able to get the best entries, if you want to learn how to use risk management so that you don't lose money, which is very important, if you want multiple trading strategies, knowing how to backtest, check out this course, $80 discount in the good old description of the video. Indeed. Okay. So, what was I talking about now? What was I even talking about? Does anyone remember? Let me pop into the chat here. Oh, right. There's one more thing here that I want to discuss. One more thing here that I want to discuss. And here's the thing. Common Sense Philosophy wants to know, can I explain how hidden divergences actually work? Well, yeah, I can. I can do my best here. Basically, we need to think of them as this, right? We need to think of it as a failed attempt to push the price lower, okay? A failed attempt to push the price lower. Momentum's coming down, right? And what's the result of the momentum coming down? A higher price. And so this is basically showing us that people are trying to short this down and are being unsuccessful. And so it's basically showing us we've come to the point where there needs to be a bottom and a reversal, because we have this momentum wave which is printing the big old green dot, right? If I remove the this thingamabobber, we've got the big old green dot here. And it's like momentum is building. You can think of it as pressure building up as people are trying to bring the price lower. It's not working. Pressure's building, then poof, right? We have an explosion. When Market Cipher B is telling us we've reached a bottom, a big old bottom with that green dot, this big old BitBoy dot, this is telling us there's going to be another leg up. Okay, that's the best I can explain it. Doesn't matter how it works. The only thing that truly matters for our purposes is that it does work, right? And I find that that's true with all things in life. I don't care why, I don't care how, I don't care that my video is frozen and I have an ugly face, okay? I don't care. All I care is that it works, right? All I really care is that it does what I want it to do, right? Because why are we doing this? I don't care about math and all this stuff, right? I'm just doing this to make some money so I can provide for my family, so I can have a homestead, so I don't have to have a job, right? You know what I'm saying? Because jobs, no, guys, the way of the future. If you want to prosper during what is happening, I'm not going to get into it. You need to have a business, you need to know how to invest, and you need to have physical assets such as land, animals, hard metals, water source, the ability, the knowledge to grow food, these types of things. All right, don't have a job, all right? Don't send your kids to college either. That is a waste of money and time. Teach them how to actually be successful in life. Unless they want to be a brain surgeon or a lawyer or something where they can actually make money, keep them away from that crap. Sorry guys, waxing political here. Waxing political again, okay? Shout out to Memory Man who's listening to me wax while he makes his smoothie. Okay, yeah. Yep. Okay, so the third element to getting these trades in an uptrend is support and resistance. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. Okay, let me show you something right here for Ethereum. Let's see. Let's come here. Okay, let's go to the daily time frame. Let's zoom in. You can see right here that we have indeed a daily level of what used to be resistance. Okay, let me put on the magnet tool here. We had right here what used to be a daily level of resistance right here. And so if we want to, let's say, enter into a trade, okay, and we're waiting for all other confirmations, we would then wait for us to come down and retest that level as our support. Now here you can see that indeed we did retest the level as support, right? And we did indeed get a little bounce off of it right here. So if you're scalping that, you could say, okay, we're coming down to a level of support. I see an anchor wave, I see a trigger wave. I'm going to go ahead and take that long. But the highest probability trades are going to be the ones where we're coming down to the support, right? And Market Cipher Bizzle is also giving us, as we're coming lower, Market Cipher B is coming higher. That's going to be just an added layer of confluence coming down to an important level of support, and it will help you not to get wicked out, because supports are pretty good at being support, right? They're pretty good at being support, okay? And so usually what I like to do is I like to draw levels of support and resistance on a chart, which will then give me a good entry point. So usually, like the long that I entered yesterday for the Bitcoin, right? I had pulled a fib pull from this this swing low right here to this swing high right up here. Was it that swing low? No, it must have been this swing low. Yeah, this swing low. And basically, I took the long when I had all these confirmations. I had, look at this now, okay? Check it out. This area of support is preventing me from getting wicked out. Y'all see this? Y'all see that? This area of support is preventing me from getting wicked out here. This is a Fibonacci golden pocket, very well respected, okay? Look at this, right? As soon as we touch down here, I entered on this candle here. I entered on this hourly candle here. Right here, right below the 618. Boom. Okay, that was my entry. So close to the bottom. Okay, originally stop loss was below that wick. Since I've moved the stop loss into a slight profit, guys. But if you see the hidden divergence, the regular divergence, and we're coming down to a level of support, you can be more confident in your entry. Because let's say you had entered here, okay, which would not have been a bad entry. You had the hidden divergence. You definitely had some regular divergences here. I remember seeing them play out on the lower time frames. I remember watching them saying, I'm not going to enter yet. I'm not going to enter yet. Okay? But look, you would have gotten wicked out and then price goes up. So if you have some good levels of support and resistance on your Chisnart, then you can be more confident entering the trade. Now here's the thing, y'all. The more confirmations you use, the fewer trades you will get into. But the more probable it is that your trades will turn out in your favor, right? I missed a Bitcoin long yesterday because I was waiting for all three of these things to happen. I missed the long. I had the opportunity to enter. I even went into my Discord and I said, things look bullish. And people were like, where do you think we're going to drop to enter? And I was like, I just want to drop a couple $100 lower into that golden pocket with the bullish divergence on the lower time frame before I enter a long. And guess what? The train left the station without your boy. The train left your station without the boy. Okay, your train left the station without the boy. Okay, I enjoy using pronouns and definite articles when I speak. Okay, if anybody doesn't know what that is, you got to learn a foreign language. If you want to learn English, you got to learn a foreign language. Learn yourself some Hebrew. Okay, that'll teach you about English. Because I didn't know a thing about English until I started really studying biblical Hebrew. Okay, and then I learned everything. So, we could see right here that I missed the Bitcoin trade because I was waiting for this, but I got the Ethereum trade, and it was a very good trade, guys. And here's the thing: if you just instead of over trading, I've been trading a lot lately. I've been trading a lot, more than I probably should. I've been taking risky scalps. I've been basically every time we come to a level with a divergence, I will short it, right, and make these tiny little gains because it's kind of fun. And also, I just kind of am testing out, can I actually get a little scalp from here? But if we just wait for those good trade setups, right, we don't have to overtrade. We don't have to be in a trade all the time. This Ethereum trade that I took right here, this really good trade, in all seriousness, I could take one or two of these a month and be okay. Like, I could take one or two of these trades a month, and I'd be able to basically pay the bills because I live a very low class lifestyle, right? I don't need a lot of money because I don't have a lot of stupid things. But if you do have a lot of stupid things, that's fine. Then maybe look for a few more trades. But my point here is that if you want to really do this with longevity and you're not trying to get rich quick and you just want to have enough to survive in this life while you're trusting the Lord and praising Him for all His goodness. Now look at this, guys. Right now we are coming into a golden pocket, a very local golden pocket. Let's see if we got anything telling us to enter, right? Let's come down to the 1 minute time frame. It potentially are printing a bullish divergence here. Is this? Nope, that is not. That is not a bullish divergence there, guys. Okay, maybe we could say that we are like this, but I would want to see a little bit more conviction than that here, guys. I personally would want to see something like this. We'd want to see the uneven buttocks pattern that I like to trade. The uneven buttocks pattern, because why? The right glute doesn't fire during the squats. You injured yourself, the right glute doesn't fire, and so the left glute overcompensates, and your left glute is huge. When you take a dump, it's like crooked, okay? It's not very fun, but I like the uneven buttocks setup for the divergences, and, we very well may get a bounce from here, but talking about highest probability setups, I would like to see something with a little bit more conviction there. And while we're here, let me actually take a check at my trade here, and okay, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna close out just a little bit more of my Ethereum short. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying here? All right, there we go. Closed out. Just a little bit more of that short. Up about 6%, 10x leverage. Not bad. Not bad. Just a little bit. Taking a few chunks out here and there. This could be the move that actually does. This could be the reversal, guys. This could be the end of the bull market. Who knows? Okay? I don't know. Do you? I don't know. Hey, let's get these likes up, guys. If we can get 750 likes, I will absolutely give away 0.025 Bitcoins. Bitcoin looks kind of bearish. It does. Just remember we're in an uptrend. I'm actually short on Bitcoin as well. Let's check out how that's going. Probably not as good. Yeah, definitely not as good, guys. Yeah, not good. That trade's actually in drawdown. Yeah, that trade's in a little bit of drawdown, mostly because I entered a short last night at 49.9. A small position just in case we dropped a little bit more in my sleep. Not a big deal, but I think I actually might close that out because I have a level I'm really looking to short. Full of Bull says, "Hey Jason Casper, do you use a loser stop loss when entering on a green dot?" Usually I don't, honestly. I mean, I should say yes, you should. Like, here's the thing. If you're using the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, you're never going to find yourself in a situation where you will be able to really use a good stop loss, right? You're never going to find yourself in that situation, okay? Yeah, we've got a slight bullish div here, guys. And you know what? We got a slight bullish div. Let's check out the 24-minute. Yeah. Getting a bounce here. This could be our bounce. Look at this. Yep. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, really, guys, this, you know, let's be real, right? It looks like a bull flag, right? We just need to cool off a little bit. The 4-hour. This wave still has some ways to go. We could play a good old game of red dot, green dot, or whatever, you know. If money flow starts to cross up, that would be powerful. But yeah, look at this, guys. I mean, look at how powerful just good old, you know, if you're looking for a scalp, really, look at this, right? Look at this. If you had your limit order set right here on the 618, limiting out, you already could have made with 10x leverage. You know, you could have made like 1%. You could have made almost 2% here. Okay, a small little scalp. And who knows? We'll probably come up a little higher from here because it seems that we're respecting these trend lines. But we'll see what happens if we break up or if we break down. Yeah, so CoinEx are criminals. Stay away. That's good to know, Jack Comer. Yeah, Memory Man, maybe we'll be 60 this time next week. I know a lot of people are... DBSI is also very bullish. That's good to know. Money for the People wants to know, what is my plan when they take out the power grid and you won't be able to trade crypto? Well, Money for the People, first of all, I don't think they're actually going to take out the power grid because how else are they going to control people? I mean, really, let's be real. The way that people are controlled and mind control, which is very important, the body will follow the mind and the spirit, is through the power grid. Okay, if we didn't have TV or internet, the past year and a half would have gone very differently. Life would have gone on as normal, and things would have just, everything would be normal. So I don't think they're going to take that out, considering the technocracy is totally reliant upon, you know, the internet of people, the internet of behaviors, and the fourth industrial revolution. And so I don't think they're going to take out the power grid. What I do think, though, is that there's going to come a point where I actually am not able to participate. And when that happens, I am trusting that the Lord will provide and give me wisdom in how I am to proceed. But yes, it's always good to diversify, right? It's good to diversify. This stuff right here is money, according to the scripture, right? The word for money in scripture is kesef, silver. And yeah, I mean, you know, we do what we can. We trust in the Lord. We know how the story ends, right? We read the end of the book. At least I have. Shout out to Money for the People who short on ETH. I am as well. Jasser 99's XRP long is pencil necking. So, what's up, Thor? What's up, Russian name I can't pronounce? Do I think DeFi will overcome centralized services for trading? Yeah, I do, but I do also think that eventually all this stuff will have to be controlled. Crypto Knight wants to know mindset when you're on a losing streak. Yes, I have some great tips for a mindset when you are on a losing streak. First of all, you need to step away from the charts for at least a day, preferably more. You need to do something fun and exciting. You need to get away, go into the woods with your wife, go for a hike, pack a picnic lunch, make some good sandwiches, right? Some basil, some fresh mozzarella, some fresh tomatoes, right? Make a little caprese panini, go into the woods, go for a hike, go to the beach, go in the ocean. Don't think about the charts. Be thankful that you're using good risk management and it's not a big setback. And then come back fresh. Do your technical analysis fresh. Come back with fresh criteria for yourself. Say, okay, I'm really only going to take the trade setups that are really good, and I might not find a trade today or tomorrow, but maybe the next day or the next day I'll find that really good Ethereum long where we catch the pump because we had the hidden divergence and the regular divergence as we came into the golden pocket, right? You got to have that kind of mindset. And losing streaks happen, for sure they happen. If you come back fresh, I know losing streaks are a downward cycle, psychological downward cycle. You need to get into a better mindset. You need to refocus. You need to stop obsessing. And you need to come back fresh. Let's see. Do I make my own mozzarella? I do not, but my wife does make her own cheese and raw goat cheese. Okay, sheesh. DBSI flip bearish. Just Lee says something that may or may not be true, but if it is true, then you're correct, Just Lee. Yes, mindset is totally key. Mindset is totally key. Let's see here. Greetings from Spain. Praise the Lord. Amen. Am I looking to short the global golden pocket? Yeah. How to calculate the move. See, that's the thing. Aditya. A lot of times, I don't really calculate the move. I have take profit levels. I take profit there. A lot of times let it ride. If you're doing a 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, I would recommend you take that profit fast. And I would recommend that you move that stop loss to the entry when you're in good profit. Okay? That's what I would recommend. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Thanks for liking the video, all 466 of you. Thanks for liking the video. If we can get this thing up to 465 likes, I will say that we need to get up to 750 likes for the giveaway. I'm trying to give away $1,500 up in here. Yeah, she makes her own cheese. Yeah, she does. And it's good, too. I mean, Jack, we are homesteaders, my friend. We are homesteaders. We make a lot of our own stuff. Salsa. Right now, all those tomatoes coming in. All the tomatoes, all the squashes coming in right now. The potatoes. Just harvested a bunch. How many strategies do I discuss in the course? Many. I think at least 4. How do I trade when as soon as I enter it goes the other way? That very rarely happens, exposing scum. If you wait for good confirmations, that very rarely happens. Carl, you have perfect music for my streams for a low volume vibe. Yeah, I'll give it a go, maybe. No, I don't sell the cheese. I don't sell it. Where's the best place to pull out the fixed range? It's kind of subjective, but you want to find important areas where you say, okay, let's say, for example, you want to just kind of say, this is just an example, but you want to say, okay, from the time we claimed this daily resistance as support, I want to pull it from here, okay? And we can see now that we've got our point of control up here, which has been our resistance. And you usually do this on a more macro scale, right? So we go to the corn, the Bitcoin, And recently I was pulling it from, well, yesterday I was pulling it from when we came above this important level here, right? And I'm just pulling it from there to see, all right, where are the important regions right here? And then if you see like an uptrend, you can pull it from the uptrend, right, to see where's the most volume in this uptrend so far. Okay, we've got a point of control right here. Potentially look for a good long position if we retrace back down to that point of control. Lately we haven't really been hitting the supports we wanted to. I was really looking yesterday for us to come just a little bit lower, to where were we actually even? Now I forget now what I was looking at here, but there was a lot of confluence. We had a golden pocket somewhere important. Yeah, I wanted to see us come down just a tad lower here yesterday to get into my Bitcoin long, and it didn't happen, guys. It did not happen. Yeah, it did not happen. So, all right, let's come in here and see what's up. Why homeschool? Of course I will homeschool. What a crazy thing to not homeschool. I mean, really, people don't understand this, but in the United States, it shows you how much political ideologies have changed. But back in the day, being conservative literally meant you were against public school. There were so many things that modern conservatives would just like vomit at today. But why in the world would anybody in their right mind take the fruit of their loins during the most impressionable years of their life and send them away to be indoctrinated by complete strangers who can't even teach what they want to teach, right? Teachers are good, but they can't teach what they want to teach. They have to teach a curriculum developed by the state, and we know really those curriculums are developed by world think tanks like the United Nations. And then they wonder why their kids are off the rails, right? I mean, Jesus specifically says this, right? He says, a disciple is not above the teacher, but everyone who is fully trained will be like their teacher, okay? If you don't like what's going on in the world right now, and you don't like where things are going politically and ideologically, especially in the West, if you are sending your kids to public school, do not be surprised when they exit that institution just like the world, all right? And this is in a religious context and a secular context, okay? Obviously, if you believe in the Messiah and you are trying to raise your children to be godly men and women, to propagate righteousness and upright living in the society, how in the world do you expect that to be possible when they are being trained by their teachers for 12 years at least during the most impressionable times of their life? And it's not just the curriculum that's training them, it's also their peers who are training them to have the worldview of our current post-modern society. How will you expect our civilization to continue if you're putting your kids through this? And I know that's harsh. I know I'm probably getting shadow banned for all this. But that's the truth. And I would rather live in a trailer and be struggling to get by than to have my wife and myself have to have a job somewhere just so that we can live a higher class lifestyle and have to put our kids through that nonsense. Honestly. And this extends far beyond just being a Christian, right? Because I'm obviously a Christian. But just in general, I know a lot of people here don't like what's currently going on in the world. That's one of the reasons why we're into crypto. If we train up the next generation to be different, then society will change, right? It has to happen grassroots. True change starts with the people, not with the government. Not at all. And obviously, I believe true change can only come if the gospel of the Messiah is preached and embraced by society at large, but whatever. Let's see here. What's my workout routine like? All right. Obviously, we're waxing not TA right now, okay? We are waxing not TA right now. But I'm about to cut the stream after I talk about my workout routine, which is this. 3 days a week, I lift weights. Full body, 3 days a week. 2 or 3 days. And I do something called concurrent periodization, where instead of linear periodization, where you go through phases of basically you're starting out with high volume, low weight, to very low volume, high weight, over the course of a training cycle, I basically split it up so that every week I'm doing high intensity, low volume, and high volume, low intensity. Which basically means one day I'm lifting very heavy weights, rep ranges between 1 to 5 reps. Then the next workout I'm doing high reps between 10 and 15. I'd say 8 and 15. And then the third day is mostly practicing speed and form, where I'm focusing on explosiveness and the form of my exercises. So it's kind of like I've got a heavy, light, medium day, where I lift heavy, I lift light, and then I do medium for form and stuff like that. And I find that it's the best, especially if you're not taking steroids, to get big and strong, because it's very clear as far as the scientific literature goes, if you can even trust that. I don't know, who knows, but according to these, I don't think there's any agenda when it comes to getting muscular in that science. So, it's clear that if you stimulate the muscle protein synthesis only continues for the next 24 to 48 hours. So if you do a chest day once a week, you're only going to be able to build muscle and strength to your chest for the next day or two at the max. But if you are doing that 2 or 3 times a week, now you're constantly activating muscle protein synthesis, which means you're constantly getting stronger and bigger, as long as your nutrition is adequate. And so if you can actually stimulate the muscle more than once a week, you will get bigger and stronger. And if you're rotating your exercises, rotating the variation, like one day you're doing a regular flat bench press, the next week you're doing an incline bench press, the next week you might be doing a bench press close grip, then the next week you might be doing a bench press with the slingshot or with bands. You won't injure yourself from overuse injury, and you are also able to keep the intensity very high, so you're constantly lifting those heavy weights, and you're also able to keep the volume pretty high. You're constantly lifting those lighter weights, which I find is really good for your overall cardiovascular conditioning. And also, it's just fun. It's fun to get a pump, right, and do high reps. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to cut the stream. I'm going to cut the stream. Appreciate all of you for being here, guys. And I do pray that the Lord blesses you. So receive this blessing in the Hebrew language. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, v'shem Yeshua HaMashiach Elohei Israel, which means in English, may the Lord bless you, may He guard and protect you, may He shine His light upon you, and may He have grace upon you, and may He turn His face towards you and give you wholeness and completeness and peace in the name of Jesus the Messiah, the God of Israel. Amen. And Lord willing, I will see y'all in the next stream. Shout out to Matt Givote for the super chat, $50, bro. No question, no nothing. Just a super chat. Thank you. People think I'm Jewish. How do you define Jewish anyway? It depends on who you ask. I'm a follower of the Messiah, and the Messiah himself is Jewish. And so, yeah, that's the reality of the situation. All right, peace, y'all. Oh, man. Nick, thanks, man. You too. Stay black, bro.